This is the best moments of the Barbecue Central show in 10 minutes or less. Ever wish you could re-listen to your favorite interview or segment? Do you enjoy hearing older shows for the first time in years? Then the best moments of the Barbecue Central show in 10 minutes or less is just what you need. Thanks for listening and enjoy the show.
Hello, everyone. John Solberg here, your host for the best moments of the Barbecue Central show in 10 minutes or less. Super excited to tell you that today's show is being brought to you by The Butcher Shop, purveyors of highly sought after 100% Australian non-crossbred Wylara 9 Plus briskets. And as always, they're going to be handpicked just for you. The Butcher Shop has been retailing the finest meats for the past 15 years. Every week, they are shipping out competition quality meats to many of the biggest teams in the competition scene across the nation. Simply put, teams who use The Butcher Shop win, and they win often. If you're not a competitor, I know you still have an eye for some finer cuts. Great news, The Butcher Shop is shipping some of the finest prime, dry-aged Australian Wagyu and Japanese Wagyu steaks to people just like you and me who aspire to be the kings and queens of the cul-de-sac. The Butcher Shop always has Berkshire, Compart Duroc, Allegiance Duroc, and Prairie Fresh all-natural pork in stock. And again, it is always handpicked just for you. You might be saying, John, that sounds great, but I'd like to try something different. Rest easy, knowing The Butcher Shop can get you an elk steak, a camel roast, other things. They're going to hand pick it out for you and ship it out promptly. Let's review. The best competition briskets? Check. The best pork selection? Check. Giving you better overall options to cook at home? Check. So please give The Butcher Shop a call today. 850-458-8782. That's 850-458-8782. You mentioned the Barbecue Central show. They're going to give you 10% off your entire order each and every time. Check them out over on Facebook as well. Facebook.com/The Butcher Shop. Shop is spelled S-H-O-P-P-E. The Butcher Shop, home of the 100% Australian non-crossbred Wylara 9 Plus briskets. And today we're going to go back a few years and find this little piece of one-off, never happened before, hope it never happens again, Barbecue Central show history.
That kind of dovetails nicely into my next question. We're talking with Ray Lampe, Dr. Barbecue. And this is one that I've actually wanted to ask you about probably for the last month or 2 months, which is there seems to be, especially over this past year, a lot of fast food chains jumping into the barbecue scene, offering such succulent treats as the McRib, as I had mentioned before, various pulled pork sandwich variations, and of course that newest one that Arby's came out with this summer, which was the smokehouse brisket sandwich. I guess first things first, which of any of those have you tried? What's good and what's passable and what should go and die? And I guess what are your thoughts on the business model at hand for these fast food chains trying to introduce the barbecue?
Well, I think trying to introduce barbecue is really a good thing. I think we should all be proud of that it has come that far, that Burger King really sees it as a legit category and has jumped in a big way. Arby's as well, and our friend is actually in the commercial. How much of it have I tried? Well, I've always eaten McRibs. I do like them. I probably claim to like them more than I actually do, but just for the sake of argument, I will go on the side of McRibs are good. Burger King, earlier this year, I had a contract on my desk to do a small project as the spokesman for the Burger King first wave of barbecue sandwiches. So I went over to the local Burger King and figured I better eat this stuff and see what it's like. And it was bad. The pulled pork sandwich was so sweet. Have you eaten one of those things?
No, never.
It was so sweet. It was like I couldn't eat it. It was so. And then I ate a burger with barbecue sauce on it or something. I don't even remember. And they then I had the contract, and then they disappeared and they pulled out on me. It was one of two things. I think they probably just knew my heart wasn't in it. I was going to take the money, and I thought it would be good exposure, but man, my heart wasn't in it. I got to be honest. It was either that or they just knew I wasn't very influential in the barbecue world.
So let me ask you this better question.
Did you get
that? Yeah, of course I did. I'm not even going to dignify that for 1 second. When, let's say they didn't pull the contract out for whatever reason, they left it out there, and you said you were going to take it. at what point where does the internal struggle take place where you know what's good and you know what Dr. Barbecue's brand is going to be out there endorsing, and on the other side you're like, man, it's Burger King, it's one of the biggest chains out there, and on top of that, the cash is pretty good, and now you have this internal struggle of, am I going to hold on.
I'll just host the show from here, Greg. Don't worry about it. I think he had to let the dog in or something. Okay, I'll just answer the question. Yes, there is an internal struggle because you don't want to, managing the world of being Dr. Barbecue is something you want to think about, and you have to be true to who you are. And that's probably why it fell through, because my heart wasn't in it. But from a business point of view, hey, sometimes you got to take the money. It's part of being an entrepreneur. But also, I think it was so far out there that nobody was going to take it serious. So I wasn't really that worried about it. Sandy was more worried about it than I was. I didn't think there was anyone was going to take it seriously. So I was willing to do it. And I would have had to shut my mouth for the extended period of time. That's how those contracts are written. I also, one time I was almost the spokesman for the barbecue crock pot. Remember that thing?
Oh, yeah.
And similar thing happened. They pulled out at the last second. And I think, once again, they really just knew my heart wasn't in it.
Ray Lampe joining us here on the show. Sorry, Ray, I had to take off there because my kid fell down the stairs.
Yeah, the show must go on, Greg. I rolled through.
First time with a house that actually has stairs in it, going from a ranch house to a colonial. And, well, sometimes kids fall right down the goddamn stairs while you're doing the show. Make sure nobody broke a neck. Ray Lampe joining us here on the show. Ask drbbq.com if you want to submit a question to us, or drbbq.com, which is Ray's website. I hate to call out the general consuming public, but I'm going to. Why not? It's 2014, new year. Let's keep insulting people. Are all of these offerings, through the fast food and stuff, just lazy people eating substandard barbecue? And it doesn't have to be like that, right? I mean, you can put a little effort into it, make it at home, and enjoy something that's 10 times better than just going through a drive-through line.
2014, what a year for the Really Big Barbecue Central show. Just weeks prior to this, Greg was broadcasting from the Wycliffe Lalonde's basement. There was a Wednesday show, if you can believe that. Greg got a new studio. His offspring fell down the stairs. 2014. What a year in the show's history. You'd like to hear the rest of this show. I know you would. That came out wrong. So head over to thebbqcentralshow.com. There's a link in today's show notes. We'll take you to the complete episode. Words are hard today, so I'm going to leave you be. Thank you so much for listening. Until next time on the best moments of the Barbecue Central show in 10 minutes or less, I'm your host, John Solberg. I look forward to talking to you again soon.